About 77% of U.S. adults have some form of debt, meaning roughly 200 million Americans owe money on mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, or other types of borrowing. Consumer debt in the United States totals more than $18.5 trillion.
Debt is one of the biggest financial traps of the 21st century. Some people fall into it without even realizing it, while others knowingly take on debt, hoping they'll deal with it later. In this video, I'm not going to talk about whether taking out loans is good or bad, when it makes sense, or when you should avoid it. Instead, I'm going to show you two strategies that can help almost anyone pay off debt much faster than simply making the minimum payments your lender expects. At first glance, these methods look incredibly simple, but you'd be surprised how effective they actually are. They're effective mathematically because they help you pay off your debt faster and, in some cases, save thousands of dollars in interest. But they're also powerful psychologically. Month after month, you'll actually see your debt shrinking, which makes it much easier to stay motivated instead of feeling like you're making payments forever without getting anywhere. These two strategies are called the Debt Snowball and the Debt Avalanche. They're very similar, but depending on your situation, one may be a much better choice than the other. Let's start with the first one, the Debt Snowball Method. The main goal of the Debt Snowball isn't to save the most money on interest. Its biggest advantage is reducing your financial stress by eliminating individual monthly payments as quickly as possible. Let's look at an example. Imagine you have three different debts. Loan number 1, a $2,000 interest-free financing plan with a required monthly payment of $200. Loan number 2, a $10,000 credit card balance with a minimum monthly payment of $300. Loan number 3, a $35,000 personal loan with a required payment of $600 every month. Together, your required monthly debt payments add up to $1,100. After paying all your living expenses, you still have another $300 every month that you're willing to use to pay off debt faster. According to the Debt Snowball Method, you continue making the minimum payment on every debt, but every extra dollar you have goes toward paying off the smallest balance first. In this example, that's the $2,000 financing plan. Instead of paying only the required $200, you pay $500 every month by adding your extra $300. That allows you to eliminate this debt much sooner. And here's where the snowball begins. Once that first debt is gone, you no longer have to make its $200 monthly payment. Now, your required monthly debt payments drop from $1,100 to $900. Financially, your situation immediately becomes less stressful. But here's the important part. You don't spend that extra $200. Instead, you roll it into the next debt. Now you have your original $300 plus the freed up $200, giving you $500 of extra money every month. You add that to the minimum payment on your credit card. Instead of paying only the required $300, you're now paying $800 every month, allowing you to wipe out that balance much faster. Then, once the credit card is completely paid off, something even better happens. Another required payment disappears. Now, you freed up the original $300, the $200 from the first loan, and the $300 minimum payment from the credit card. That gives you $800 of extra money every month, on top of the required payment for your last loan. So instead of paying only $600 toward your personal loan, you're now paying $1,400 every single month. By this point, your debt payoff accelerates dramatically. Every debt you eliminate creates more cash flow that helps eliminate the next one even faster. That's exactly why it's called the debt snowball. The snowball starts small, but as it rolls downhill, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. The same thing happens with your debt payments. Every loan you eliminate gives you more money to attack the next one. One of the biggest advantages of this method is psychological. Most people don't quit paying off debt because the math is hard. They quit because they stop seeing progress. When you completely eliminate one debt, then another, you feel like you're actually winning. Your monthly obligations become smaller, your financial stress decreases, and staying motivated becomes much easier. For many people, that psychological boost is exactly what allows them to finally become debt-free. The Debt Avalanche Method. Now let's look at the second strategy, the Debt Avalanche. The overall idea is almost identical. You still make the minimum payment on every debt, and you still put every extra dollar toward just one loan at a time. The difference is which debt you attack first. Instead of paying off the smallest balance, you focus on the debt with the highest interest rate. Let's use a similar example. You have the same three debts. Loan number 1, a $2,000 interest-free financing plan with a monthly payment of $200. Loan number 2, a $10,000 credit card balance with a 30% APR requiring a minimum payment of $300. Loan number 3, a $35,000 personal loan with a 12% interest rate requiring a monthly payment of $600. You still have an extra $300 every month available for additional payments. With the Debt Avalanche, you don't start with the smallest balance. Instead, you immediately put every extra dollar toward the credit card because it's charging the highest interest. You continue making only the minimum payments on the other 2 loans. Once the credit card is completely paid off, you move on to the personal loan. Only after that do you pay off the interest-free financing plan. At first, this approach may actually feel less satisfying. The smallest debt might still be sitting there for months while you're aggressively paying off a larger balance. It may seem like you're making less progress, but mathematically, you're saving more money. Why? Because every dollar you pay toward a high-interest debt immediately reduces the amount of future interest you'll have to pay. A dollar paid toward a credit card charging 30% APR saves you far more money than a dollar paid toward an interest-free financing plan. That's why, over the long run, the debt avalanche usually results in paying less interest overall and getting out of debt at a lower total cost. If your goal is to minimize how much money the bank earns from you, this is usually the most efficient strategy. So, which method is better? The truth is, neither method is universally better. It depends entirely on your personality and your financial situation. If your biggest problem is that your monthly payments feel overwhelming and you want to reduce that financial pressure as quickly as possible, then the Debt Snowball is probably the better choice. It gives you quick wins. You eliminate individual debts faster. Your required monthly payments shrink sooner. And for many people, those small victories are exactly what keeps them motivated until they're completely debt-free. On the other hand, if you're disciplined enough to stay focused even when progress isn't immediately visible and your main goal is to pay the least amount of interest possible, then the Debt Avalanche is mathematically the better option. You'll probably save more money in the long run. So, there isn't a right or wrong answer. The best method is simply the one you'll actually stick with. Because even the perfect strategy doesn't work if you give up after a few months. But if you consistently follow either one of these methods, you'll be making far more progress than the average borrower who only makes minimum payments month after month. To make this even easier, I've included a free debt payoff spreadsheet in the description below. You can use it to organize all of your debts, track your progress, and apply either the Debt Snowball or the Debt Avalanche method step by step. Just download it using the link in the description. And that's it for today's video. If you found it helpful, make sure to hit the like button and share it with someone who's trying to get out of debt. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos about investing, personal finance, and building long-term wealth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.